5 years ago, my mother left a tote of old family photos at my door with a note that said, "I don't need this anymore." This isn't the kind of story I wanted to ever tell, but it's one I've carried for a while, and I think I'm finally ready. A couple years ago, around Mother's Day, I shared my truth online: the abuse, the men who came and went, the silence, the survival, the near suicides, the short season of substance use that numbed more than just my pain. What I didn't expect was the compassion. Hundreds of people responded with honesty and kindness, but someone else responded with rage. My mother. She called, she screamed, she used a slur I hadn't heard since the 1980s. She threatened the man I love, and when Joseph, calm as ever, "You need to stay home and let this go," she couldn't. We hung up. We haven't heard from her since. But the silence wasn't new. 5 years ago, before any of this went public, she dropped off that tote of photos, and inside was that note: "I don't need this anymore." That was it. As if our whole history could be tossed out like leftovers, as if the memories we barely survived together were trash she no longer had space for. I referenced that moment recently on my show, Sunday with Dr. Shannon. A viewer shared something similar, and I offered my story to help them feel a little less alone. What I didn't expect, again, were the calls that followed. Two women, both of whom have loved me like a son. One, my mother in law, the other, a woman who should have been my mother. They were furious, not at me, but for me. One said, "That woman doesn't deserve the title of mother. She's an egg donor, and she's missing out on a life she should cherish." The other called her back so that they could vent together, because some grief is so infuriating you need a second witness. That's what love looks like too. Not always soft, but fierce, protective, grounded in truth. I've kept this quiet for years, not because I was afraid of my story, but because I was still hoping hers might change. Her story didn't change, but mine did.